Thanks for tuning in to this chapter of Manchester United's season on Tears of Joy. Please consider subscribing to help the channel grow. Although not a terrible result in the context of things, the draw against Newcastle left a sour taste on the mouth of fans as United failed to seal a win in the final moments. And it wouldn't get any easier for United as they welcomed third place Spurs, tied on points with last year's champions, to Old Trafford. Sitting 7 points behind, albeit with a game in hand, a win would be crucial to narrow the gap in their bid for a top 4 place. With their recent goal scoring woes, will United be able to break down Conte's Spurs? Come matchday, these were the starting 11s for both teams. Ten Hag made one change from the Newcastle match, as Ronaldo returned to the bench for Marcus Rashford. Eriksen was only fit enough for the bench as Ten Hag continued with his Brazilian duo in midfield. Spurs' shape was a little different from the preferred 3-4-3, as Richarlison and Kulusevski nursed injuries. It did still look a strong side though, with the Kane and Son combination always a threat to score. Who would blink first? Spurs had the first side on goal, as Bentancur brings it forward. He passes to Son and continues his run upfield. Son pokes it to Doherty, who plays it through for Bentancur. He gets his head up and shoots, and the ball doesn't go too wide at all. It was United then who came forward. De Gea calmly plays it to Casemiro, who shifts it out to Varane under pressure. Varane has time to play it upfield. As the ball comes to him, Bruno cleverly lets it go through his legs, allowing Fred to receive and taking out the two pressing Spurs players. Fred plays it upfield for Rashford. Doherty is just able to take it away from his toes as Lloris is caught in no man's land. Antony, seeing the keeper in no man's land, attempts a chip, but Lloris is able to unconvincingly palm it away for a corner. From the ensuing corner, Fred receives it on the edge of the box. He strikes it hard, and Lloris has to make another save. United came forward again with Dalot. He plays it wide to Antony. Antony cuts inside as Dalot makes the overlapping run. He's got room to unleash his signature curler as the defenders back off, and he comes oh so close to opening up the scoring as the ball grazes past the post. It was noticeable how comfortably United were beating Spurs' press. Varane channels his inner Eriksen as he plays it through a crowd of bodies. Bruno plays it first time back to Fred. Fred plays it to Dalot, and Dalot gives it to Antony, who gives it to Fred. Fred gets his head up and plays a delicious through ball for Rashford running in behind. Rashford smashes the ball hard and low and surely has to score, but Lloris does brilliantly to get down fast and deny an unbelievable opportunity. It just won't happen for the man at the moment. United come forward again as Antony receives it just outside the D. He plays it out wide to Dalot. Dalot does a step over and takes it outside Perisic to deliver a looping cross into the box. The ball travels all the way to Shaw for a ferocious volley, and Lloris is called into action yet again. It was all United from then on, getting away shot after shot after shot. Not only were they adept at playing out from the back, United's pressing game was on point as well. Romero's closed down as he chips the ball out to Højbjerg. As the ball reaches him, two United players are immediately on him, and Casemiro pokes free Højbjerg's loose touch. Fred wins his 50-50 against Bissouma to poke it back to Casemiro. And Casemiro will not be denied as he wriggles around challenges towards the corner flag, before playing a cheeky back heel for Sancho. Sancho plays in an oncoming Dalot. Dalot takes a powerful strike, and it's a sore one for Danya as he takes one straight in the moneymaker. Spurs had the final moment of the half as Casemiro gives it away in a rare moment. Son intercepts the pass towards Højbjerg, who sends away Bentancur. Bentancur brings it forward before playing wide to Doherty. Doherty slips in Kane, who takes a strike from a narrow angle, which De Gea saves comfortably. The rebound lands back at Kane's feet as he strikes again, and it's Dalot's turn to earn his money as he cops it in the chin. Half-time stats would read like this. Possession was fairly even, at 52% to 48, but United were in total control of the game, ending the half with a ridiculous shot total of 19, and 5 shots on target, to Spurs' measly 1. United came out hungry for the second half, and it would take less than 2 minutes to reap the rewards. United's hounding press forces Spurs to go long. Kane's header loops high in Son's direction, but Martinez shows pure desire to eat up the distance, and easily outcompetes Son for the header. Danya tries to chest it to Højbjerg, but now it's Bruno's turn to engage, and he nips in front of the Spurs man to win the ball. He plays in Antony, who checks back before playing across to Sancho. Sancho looks for a shooting opportunity before playing in an oncoming Fred. Fred hits it first time on his left peg, but the shot is rather weak. Lloris is comfortably behind it, until Davies sticks out a leg for a huge deflection, and the keeper can only watch as the ball squirms in inside his right post. The unlikeliest of heroes, only a few days removed from his epic miss against Newcastle. Fred, what a man. United won, Spurs 0. And United weren't about to let up. Shaw delivers a long diagonal towards Rashford. Rashford does really well to hold off the defender to head it down and make his way into the box. He shot fakes with his right, sending the recovering defenders flying, and gets off a powerful shot with his left. But it's a little too close to Lloris and he's able to get a hand to it. When would he get his goal? Then it was Spurs' turn to venture forward. Perisic sends it long. Bentancur misses it and the ball bounces off Shaw's body, right into Son's path, who pokes it to Kane. Kane has only one thought on his mind as he smashes it, and De Gea is rooted to a spot, but the ball sails just wide. United would continue to pile on the pressure, and eventually they'd find themselves two in front. Fred plays to Bruno, who lays it back for Casemiro as he's pressured. Casemiro plays a lovely first-time chip towards the wing, as United show again their ability to play through Spurs' press. Antony sizes up his man before making his way infield. He tries to play to Bruno, but the pass is just too far ahead. The defender is able to nip in, but the ball ricochets off Bruno and loops high. Fred coolly controls it with his chest, and tries to knock it past Danya, but the Spurs man sticks out a leg. The ball bounces back perfectly to Bruno, who curls it around Danya. Lloris goes flailing, but the ball ends up in the top corner, and in the back of the net. A little fortuitous, but the captain would get on the score sheet. Forget McFred, it was the Bruno and Fred bread connection. United made their first substitution in the 76th minute as McTominay replaced Antony. In the 80th minute, United had the ball in the back of the net again. In one fluid motion, Rashford receives the ball from Shaw, turns, and fires a diagonal towards Bruno on the far side. Bruno shot fakes to sit the keeper down. He takes it around him and shoots for an easy finish as United go 3-0 up. Or did they? Unfortunately, the goal will be ruled out for offside. A close call if I'd ever seen one. In the closing minutes, Ten Hag brought in Elanga for Sancho and Eriksen for Casemiro. Then in the 90th minute, we'd see Ronaldo storm down the tunnel early. Was it an injury issue? Or maybe a toilet break? Fans would have to wait to find out. The match continued for an additional 4 minutes with United still in control, and that would be that. Full time stats would read like this. The numbers were almost a mirror image of the first, with United adding 5 more shots on target while allowing just 1 more from Spurs, and finishing the game with the same 52% possession. The 28 total shots was the most for United in the Premier League, and second most only to the dominant performance against the Mono Nicosia, as covered in Chapter 12. A satisfying win against fellow top 4 contenders, and a complete performance in every sense of the word. Ten Hag totally outfoxed Conte tactically, as Spurs whimpered away after the first 10 minutes of the match. Although both goals came with an element of luck, it was nothing less than what United deserved, as they put Spurs to the sword and ensured Lloris had to work overtime for his matchday check. After a disappointing end to last match, Fred bounced back strong to not only open the scoring for United, but to also cover every inch of grass in typical Fred fashion. Say what you want about the man, but he always fought for the badge. Bruno scored his first goal since Southampton, and his second in the Premier League. Fans were still waiting for the floodgates to open in terms of his goal output, but like Fred, you can never fault the captain's work ethic. Casemiro was well and truly settled into the side now, and was oozing class week after week. Not only was he a defensive rock, he brought a calmness in possession and showcased a footballing IQ, as he made decisive, calculated passes when called upon. Bruno came away with the Player of the Match award, but it really was an award shared by the midfield trio. The back four impressed again, as they didn't allow Spurs a sniff on goal and allowed De Gea to be a relative bystander. Rashford had 2 fantastic opportunities again to get back onto the score sheet, but was denied by some brilliant saves by Lloris. He was certainly working hard for the side, with his defensive and forward runs, and would hopefully get back on goal-scoring form sooner than later. This was how the Premier League table looked at the conclusion of Matchday 12. United were only 1 point behind Chelsea now for the top 4 race, the club they'd be facing off against next at Stamford Bridge. Can United come away with all 3 points in a classic top 4 6-pointer? Join me here for chapter 15 of United's season. So that's the end of this chapter. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more Manchester United content. If you're into FIFA career mode, check out my second channel, Tears of Joy Gaming. Bicycle, hit that like button on the way out. Until next time, peace.